Hey friends, it's Sarah, and I'm back with another video about Brother's sublimation printer, the SP-1. Look at that cutie little thing. I'm super excited for this video because today I'm actually going to sublimate. So in my last two videos, I did an unboxing and I did a getting started and how to print your sublimation designs onto the transfer paper. But today we are actually going to transfer them using my heat press. I have a big old heat press here. I also have my little mini one set up. I don't actually think the mini one gets hot enough to properly use it for sublimation, but I'm gonna try it anyway because I like to just break the rules. So let's get started. Behind me, I set up a big wall of all of the blank fabrics and items that I'd like to try sublimating on. It's very ambitious, but a little bit of background. I am a sewing and embroidery educator. I make videos and tutorials. I do live streams and demonstrations and presentations to show people why they should buy one of these machines and how to use it and get them inspired. So it does kind of fall into my role to just test everything out and apply it in as many ways as I can figure out how to. So that is what I'm doing. I have fleece, I have polyester tees, I have poly fabric that's more like a cotton feel. I have a random scrap. That blue roll right there is just like a random piece of fabric that I'm pretty sure is polyester, but I honestly have no idea what the fiber content is. We're gonna try and sublimate on it anyway. I have polyester ribbon, I have a poly dri-fit tee, basketball shorts, I have poly keychains, as well as mouse pads, flags, coasters, and sticker paper. I think I'm most excited about the sticker paper. What can I say? I love stickers. So I am excited to start trying all of these different blanks out, figure out how to sublimate on each of them. There are different rules for each item as far as what temperature you need to use for your heat press and how long you need to press it for. So there's lots to learn. I want to start with the basics today. So I want to start with my dri-fit tee and the basketball shorts. I grabbed a logo off of the internet and I'm going to use that to make my sample basketball tee and short set. I'm gonna cut these out. I have my heat press heating up, so it is already at 413 degrees Fahrenheit. And I looked up online, just a quick and easy search for the temperatures and the times when you sublimate a polyester shirt. And I came up with 45 seconds at 400 degrees. So that's what we're gonna go with. A lot of these blanks are designed for sublimating. And so the manufacturer will provide instructions on what temperature to use and how long to press it for. When I bought this polyester tee, the dri-fit tee, you know, I got it at a big box store. It's not necessarily meant for sublimating, so no instructions came along with it. That's why I did a quick Google search and I just have to try it out and see how it goes. I just realized I forgot to mirror these, so I'm gonna reprint them. You have to mirror your image before you sublimate because when you press it down on the shirt, it comes out backwards. I mirrored the image and reprinted. So now when I press it onto my garment, it'll press right side. I'm gonna give that another minute to dry before I press it. I wanted to also go over some of the supplies that you're gonna need. So obviously you need the sublimation printer. I'm using Brother's SP-1. It's a brand new at-home sublimation printer. You can see it's super compact, very easy, add to your craft, sewing, or hobby room. And you also need a heat press, so that comes in handy for sure. There are lots of specialty heat presses like for hats and mugs. You cannot heat press a mug with a regular iron or a handheld heat press like this. You have to actually have a mug press that wraps around the mug. So that's definitely more specialty. Personally, I don't see myself making a lot of sublimation mugs, so that's not a heat press that I'm going to invest in. I'm going to stick with my standard heat press here and push that to the limits, make as much as I can with that standard heat press. Parchment paper is always good to have. It is advised to put a piece of parchment paper inside the garment that you're sublimating on, as well as on top of, so you make a sandwich, you do parchment paper and then the front of the garment, then your sublimation paper, and then parchment paper again, and then press it. So you want to kind of sandwich the material and the sublimation paper in between two pieces of parchment paper when you print. So I have some parchment paper here ready to go. Butcher's paper or parchment paper will work. And then I also purchased a roll of heat safe tape. This tape is safe up to 400 degrees. So you're able to, if you're doing kind of a smaller logo, you're able to tape it in place and press so that it doesn't shift when you're using the heat press. My heat press is ready to go at 400 degrees. So I'm gonna get started prepping my shirt here. So I have my dry fit shirt and I'm just laying it out nice and smooth. And then I'm going to put one piece of parchment paper inside. And this is just an extra layer of protection so that your print doesn't bleed at all through to the back of your shirt. So just laying it right there. I'm going to do a left chest placement right about here. So I'm making sure the parchment paper obviously is in the same area that I'm putting my print. Smooth it out. Now I have my print on the sublimation paper here. I'm going to flip it face down and place it. I'm just eyeballing it to make sure it's straight and I like the placement. All right, I cut 2 pieces of heat safe tape. So I'm going to put those down just to keep this design in place. And I also want to test it out and see how it works, if it really doesn't leave a mark, because I think if it would leave a mark anywhere, it would be on this very bright white shirt. It's a blue tape. So yeah, let's test it out. Shirt is set on the heat press. Made sure to smooth it out. Now I'm going to put one more piece of parchment paper right on top there. And I'm going to swing my heat press around and then clamp it down and start my 45-second timer. Let's pull it off and see how we did. Okay, I made sure it's cool enough before pulling off this tape. Oh! Oh my God! That actually came out so good. I am shocked. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was kind of expecting more of a result, like a faded kind of look, but it is really dark and saturated, and the detailing is amazing. So that, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. And the tape definitely did not leave any residue, so I am cool with the tape. That heat sensitive or heat safe tape definitely worked its magic. Now I'm going to do the basketball shorts, and I made kind of a coordinating design. So I just took that flaming basketball from the logo and I'm going to add it to the bottom of the right leg of the short. So again, I'm going to put my parchment paper inside the short. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And then I'm going to put my design face down right about here. And then I'm going to use that tape again. I'm going to now test out if I could reuse the heat sensitive tape. So I'm taking it, because I love to reuse things. So we're going to test it. I'm going to take it off of the shirt logo that I just pressed. and I'm gonna see if it's still effective on this second piece here. So let me take it over the heat press and see how it goes. All right, so that tape that I reused stayed in place really well, so that's good to know that you could reuse it. And oh my God. Guys, I'm shocked. This looks so good. It's just really vibrant. I was not expecting that. I feel like it prints even more vibrantly when you transfer it than it does just on the paper, you know? Like this is the print and it's super dull. And then I transferred it and it has such a nice vibrancy to it. So I guess that's why I'm surprised. It looks gorgeous. The next thing I want to try is I want to test out my mini handheld heat press and see if that will work at all. I don't think it gets hot enough, right? Because I pressed with a 400-degree heat press. I don't think this little mini gets up to 400 degrees, but I'm just curious. I want to try it out, so I'm using my basketball logo text that was not mirrored, so it won't come out, you know, the correct way. And I'm just going to print it on some ribbon, again, just to try out the handheld heat press. So let's see how it does. Part of the problem too is that I know sublimation requires heat as well as pressure. So I'm not going to be able to get that much pressure with a handheld press versus the big press that has a really powerful clamp. Oh, okay. It worked. That is so cool. So that's really good to know in case I'm ever trying to sublimate something that's really tiny. I could probably get away with it. You can see that the print came out a little bit lighter on this side. I probably didn't spend as much time pressing it on this side, but it did come out nice and dark over here. So yay, that was a fun experiment. So you can totally get away with using that mini one if you're in a pinch and you have a super tiny heat press and maybe you don't want to turn on your giant heat press. Good to know. Here's my basketball outfit. We have the shorts, and we have the tee. Love how these came out. The print is really vibrant. And it only took 45 seconds. That's crazy. Curious to see how these will wash. But I think because the shirt is 100% poly, I think it's going to do well in the wash. I'll get back to you guys about that. But yeah, I mean, you can see when you're stretching it, the print even got in the little dri-fit holes there. So it doesn't look kind of crackled or anything when it stretches. So very pleasantly surprised. I want to do one more test. And I printed out these cute hiking logo designs from Brothers Art Spira app. That is their free app that is designed to be used with the SP-1. So they included these kinds of designs, and I want to press them onto some poly fabric and then potentially just use them as patches that I can sew on to a blank garment, a jacket, maybe a hoodie. I think it would be a really cute little hiking theme hoodie. So I'm gonna just lay this out right on the heat press. I'm not gonna use tape or anything. And I just have plain white poly fabric. This is my poly fabric, 100% poly. Although you can use fabric that has other fiber contents in it, you want it to be at least 65% poly. But I went with the 100 poly. So this is my fabric. Those are my designs, my patches. I'm gonna lay it out on my heat press, give it a press at 400 degrees for 45 seconds, and let's see how it goes. These seem to have picked up the grain of the fabric a little bit. I mean, it is a super cheap poly fabric, so can't be too surprised at that. But again, super crisp image. The graphics came out really bright. The colors are really beautiful, so I'm loving them. They're gonna be really cute, just kind of chopped up and used as little patches. I hope you guys had fun watching this video. I know I had fun printing with you today. Let me know what I should print next with my brother SP-1. Check out my channel for the unboxing and getting started videos for the sublimation printer, as well as lots of other unboxing and getting started videos for embroidery and sewing and fabric printing. And I will see you next time.